And that is why drugs are bad. Have a nice day, class.
My sister's sick with HPV. What is that?
Before we talk about HPV, I must teach you about cancer, Johnny.
Cancer?
Cells normally grow, divide, and eventually die. Sometimes problems arise in the DNA of cells which causes the cells to constantly grow and divide, but they won't die. When too many cells have this problem, they eventually form cancer.
But why is cancer bad?
The cancer cells will keep dividing, which eventually take up too much space in the body, and the body won't be able to function properly.
That's interesting, but what does that have to do with my sister?
Patience. Human papillomavirus, or the HPV, is a virus that affects certain locations in your body. The main target is the cervix, and it's the leading cause of cervical cancer.
It's in my cervix.
No, John. Only women have a cervix. Both men and women can develop HPV and get cancer, but only women can develop cervical cancer, which is the most common type of cancer caused by HPV.
HPV infects a cell and produces molecules that will cause cells to constantly grow. HPV is a virus that results in little growths called papillomas. Sometimes papillomas do nothing and go away. Sometimes they pop up and grow a wart, and other times they turn into cancer.
There are many kinds of HPV. Some are much more likely to cause cancer than others.
How did she get the virus then?
HPV is spread through physical contact.
What?
How do you work this thing? Oh, hello.
Johnny just told me HPV is bad. What do I do?
Well, if left untreated, HPV can turn into cervical cancer, but there are a few things you can do to reduce your risk of contracting HPV and developing cervical cancer.
What are they?
Because HPV is a sexually transmitted disease, one of the ways to not get it is to abstain from having sex. The more sexual partners you have, the greater your chance of exposure is to the virus and thus developing cancer. Even if you're only having sex with one person, you're still at risk.
But I already have HPV. How do I prevent it from turning into cancer?
One of the ways is through your immune system. Your immune system is an important defense mechanism in slowing the growth of cancer cells, as well as destroying them. It is important to keep your immune system healthy.
How can I do that?
Many things can increase the strength of your immune system, such as exercising. Smoking, however, is one of the things that will weaken your immune system. Just look at Jimmy over there. He's been smoking since the 3rd grade, and he's always sick. Smoking will weaken your immune system's ability to fight HPV infections before they turn into cancer. Secondhand smoke can also affect you, so stay away from Jimmy.
So if I don't smoke, I'm okay? I can do that.
Hold on, those aren't the only risk factors for HPV-associated cancers. Do you also take oral contraceptives?
Yeah, I do. Is that bad?
If you're already infected with HPV, extended use of oral contraceptives can be bad. Many oral contraceptives contain estrogen. Estrogen causes your cervical cells to divide faster, so increasing the amount of estrogen in your body will increase the risk of developing cervical cancer.
So maybe I should change my contraceptives and avoid cigarette smoke?
Yes, but that's not the only thing. I recommend you also see your doctor. Let me call my friend Dr. Papilloma.
Dr. Papilloma's office. Oh, hi. Okay, well, I first recommend that you get a pap smear and an HPV test. The HPV test looks for a presence of high-risk HPV in cervical cells. This determines whether you are infected with a type of HPV that could cause cancer. The pap smear looks for strained cells on your cervix. If your doctor notices this, you might be precancerous. Take Kimmy, for example. She never sees her doctor. Her infection progressed into cancer, and now she's very sick.
Aw man, I wish I could have prevented this.
The best way to prevent HPV and its associated cancers is to get the vaccine, which is effective for boys and girls. This will prevent not only the instant of infection, but also the persisting infection in your body.
In order to prevent an HPV infection, I should have gotten the HPV vaccine. I should choose my partners wisely. I should not smoke and have a healthy lifestyle. In order to prevent my HPV infection from turning into cervical cancer, I should use different contraceptives. I should see my doctor.